I can hear people saying, well, yeah, self-acceptance and happiness and actualization are all good, but what about the real world? What about my students'
Right.
difficulties and independence and all that stuff? So I wonder, how do you respond to that kind of stuff?
That's the best question. I'm going to love responding to this because I knocked my head against the brick wall, against the real world for a long time. So I think the first question is to ask ourselves, well, what is the real world? What is our definition of reality? Is it normalization? Is it the mass consciousness? Is it mainstream ideas of what we hold success to be? And so, yeah, and there was, about the bragging rights of like a Harvard or something like that. I know a lot of people, Stanford graduates, a lot of people and I don't want to speak too personally here, but where that's not the all to end all. So is that what we want to hold as reality? Because I think if each individual checks in with their own heart, I think what most everyone wants, at least that I know, and what I would want is to feel loved, to feel a sense of love in my life, to feel joy, to feel that I'm doing work or something that's meaningful, that I have a passion about, that I can feel some expertise in, and to feel a sense of ease and relaxation. Like I don't, we've been in a survival mindset for such a long time that our consciousness or our mass consciousness is built on survival. And so it was great too, because is what happened in my family. I was always saying, well, he's got to have these skills, or he's got to have these skills, or how's he going to navigate this, or what about his social skills? He can't just go in and blurt out all those things, or he can't challenge authority the way that he does. But why not in certain things? Because yes, there is, I feel like there's a difference between self-responsibility and self-expression. I grew up as a really sensitive kid, and I could feel and experience things that were unexplainable to me. And I grew up with a mom that's a CPA and a dad that's a logistician. And so it was all about practical, real life, real world skills and having that logical brain to figure things out. And so I grew up having all these experiences, but feeling like I had to shut them down. And I didn't know where to go or who to ask until they just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And 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 not wanting to share. I think this is probably one of the first public areas I've shared this on, not wanting to share that because of my fear of other people's perceptions. Oh, would they think that I'm like ungrounded, or that I'm out in the ethers, or not in reality, to go back to that conversation. But what I've discovered is this is very much this having these energetic sensitivities, a natural and innate part of who we all are. And it is, for me, reality is being who you naturally are. Reality is being able to express what's innate within you. That's the only way for civilizations and for our world and our consciousness to evolve. And so for parents that are concerned about their kids being able to be in reality, I would say that through supporting them, through going towards their interests, through supporting their passions and valuing and accepting them, they're going to learn. It may not be in the timeline that we think they have to learn everything to navigate life skills, but they're just going to learn by interacting with society. And they're also going to challenge our belief systems. And they're going to challenge what we hold to be as real and what we hold to be the way it should be, so that we can open up to something new and say, oh, maybe it is better to sometimes just express what I see. Or maybe I'm going into a school system where I feel like what I know innately inside of me, my own authority, is being taken away when I have to go to the bathroom, that I'm only allowed to go to the bathroom at a certain time. When I'm hungry, when my body's telling me I'm hungry, that I'm regulated as to when I can eat and can't eat. When I actually need to stretch my legs, or when the energy in a room is getting so intense that every part of my body is trying to disperse the energy. When my parent is maybe struggling with a life-threatening disease, and the energy inside my parent can be felt by every part of me, and I'm having a hard time regulating. And then to have that child have to sit in conformity is really hard. And so I really think that we first need to challenge what we really think of as reality. What does that mean to each of us individually, without there being really a right or wrong answer?